I think sometimes in the career of a manager you need to be a little bit fortunate. I believe I was really lucky when I went in and I had Wayne Rooney. I think when I've come to West Ham, especially, say that I've been really lucky that I've got a Declan Rice who's improved and moved on and helped us a lot. So I think on your journey as a manager, sometimes you need a bit of luck where you turn up and hey, you've got a couple of really good players, and at different times in my career I've been really lucky.
I think this might be a struggle for me here because you're going to push back, but I've been watching Declan Rice since I became aware of him, and okay, each year he's maybe got better, but fuck my old sea boots, that's a proper footballer.
Yeah,
in terms of attitude, physique, how he can impose himself in the game. I see areas where at his age he probably still should be looking to improve, and I know given how rigorous you are in terms of I want this now, I need this in your position, but you know, he had been played at centre half or in organising midfield. He's probably not like Busquets in terms of quite where he uses the ball yet, but he's a player that gives me so much enjoyment when I watch him. Tell us the things that we maybe don't understand or don't see about Declan Rice as a trainer, as a leader, as a footballer.
Well, what he is he's somebody who's incredibly improved. When I first came, we played him centre half.
Yep.
It was between, was he a centre half, was he a midfield player? So I have to give a lot of credit to Manuel Pellegrini, who put him in as a midfield player in between my two stints. So he put him in and sort of gave him the opening starts more as a midfield player. But the bit people won't see about Declan is he's a great lad. He's a great boy to work with. He's very polite. He does all the things and he does it. But what the biggest thing I've tried to get him this year is to watch Mark Noble. To watch Mark Noble, how he interacts with the players, how he interacts with his staff, how he's actually interacts with the directors when those times have come. Now Declan's only 22, so it's really difficult when, as we all know, the maturity you have when you're 22 to say you're 28 is huge. So we're asking Declan at the moment to stand up and be a big leader. So every time he goes away with England, I'm always saying to him, I hope you're watching Harry Maguire and Harry Kane, and I hope you're watching all the top boys and seeing how they work, because he has to bring that back to us to help us. And I've got to say, I think he's done really well. But there'll be a wee bit of a test because we lost Mark Noble, so we're seeing if Declan can.
But your natural assumption, and you're not an assumer, is if he's as good as he looks, he'll naturally go, all right, that's my space now. I want that duty that he was. He, maybe not in my way, but everybody chafes to say, okay, big boy, get out of my way. My guess, having watched him so far, I find huge enjoyment because he's a blend of things that I think you didn't always get in the English game, and I think we're going to see more clever passes from him. I think that's within your capacity to teach. I think it's within his range. But everybody forgets he's 22. He played in a European final, European semi-final. He looks like a natural leader to me, and the enthusiasm for the game, I really.
He's got great hunger, and look, he's got things that he has to improve in. There's no doubt, but he's got speed, ability to regain the ball, turn the ball over quickly. He's an incredibly good passer of the ball, but needs to do it more often, needs to take risk with the ball. So this last season he worked to get forward a lot more. And in some ways it worked, and it showed he's got ability to get in and around the box. He's a really good shooter. He's a really good shooter. So we're trying to encourage him this year to take on more, because he's got that ability. But the difference with Declan is he also does a great job at recovering, and he probably might be better playing behind the ball and coming onto things and seeing it. But there's probably more development. He could play further up the pitch if we
That's
chose
the thing.
to do it.
You talked about, because it's a big word to use, accepting risk. If you're a player who thinks you're a leader and you're the badge and the fans are really important, playing behind the ball isn't just slightly less risky. It's where you feel I'm in charge of all of this. That risky thing is where if you do something special, some of the times nobody in La Liga over the last 15 years has lost a ball more than Leo Messi. He's quite a good player. So that risk of accepting, sometimes it won't come off, and judging, like, now's the time to take the risk, because a split-second decisions about what's in behind, it's worth the risk now. That's maybe something where with Mark away.
No, you're definitely right, and he has to go on to that. And you know, there was, I can see it. There was a couple of games right at the end of the season we were working on him to try and make sure he's playing more positive passes and through balls and maybe winning passes as well. And if he can do that, then, you know, if he can step up to that, he'll be there. But scoring goals as well, big part of it. But he's a really good boy and big future.